Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm G, this time with a Dauntless video, this follow-up to the update 1.8.3 that I already said before. This time I'm going to talk about Chainblades and Sahvyt. I've gone against Sahvyt and then I'm going to talk about Chainblades. Now, Sahvyt as a behemoth, it's really cool. It has a whole new structure to it. It doesn't look like Shrek, it's not a like Phalanx is a combination of Shrek and a couple of others add-ons, and it's not like an Isaac or anything like that. It's a completely new structure behemoth to fight, and that's really cool. I mean, some of his moves are completely different from the others. While the others, they do the wind up and then they deliver the hit really slowly, this time he does the wind up and then he delivers the hit really, really fast. So, it's a different timing to do dodges against him, and that's something new that you have to work for. Another thing that he has that I didn't like is that he has a special move where he flips over you and lands on your back. That's a really cool move, but it's also complicated because then you cannot hit his tail. So that's a little bit complicated. His moves are a little bit hectic. They remind me a little bit of Phalanx when he gets enraged. He does multiple combos with his wings. He does the same, but Phalanx is a big guy, so there's multiple areas for him to hit. While this one is really slim, so if you want to hit this particular limb, it's sometimes complicated. That said, it's really cool. One other thing I did notice is that it's an electric behemoth, but I've been killing him to get electric kills, and they're not registered. I don't know. This is probably a bug. I already reported it in game to Phoenix Labs. Probably patched up soon, but yeah, it's not registering. If you have to kill like 6 electric behemoths and you kill him 6 times, it's not registering. Now, the good thing about this behemoth is that you can find him on Brightwood, and Brightwood is a permanent behemoth there, so you can kill him as many times as you can to get everything. I already got his armor. The armor doesn't really have anything that I want to use, really. I mean, I think it has savagery and tactician. I mean, sure, I don't use those things. I mean, the armor itself doesn't have anything that I want to put on a build. Another thing that I usually put on a build. I mean, there's some of them some perks that you might use, but I personally, there's none of them are my preference. Now, the weapons are really, really cool. The weapons have a +2 pulse, and pulse is really, really good. It's one of my favorite perks, especially if you combine it with other crit boosters or cunning or something like that. I really like that. Also, the weapons have a special perk where you throw a blade, and I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really, it reminds me a little bit of the one that we get from Karabakh. The Karabakh also has a special where the blades circle around. This one throws a blade, and the blade has does electric shocks, and I think that's cool. I think that's really a nice perk for the weapon. I don't know if it's really useful unless the behemoth is a Terra behemoth or Earth behemoth, but visually it works very well, and it looks good. Also, the weapons look really, really good. They look like this almost elfin type. They're very slim and very bright. They look really, really sharp. I really enjoy that. So yeah, the behemoth itself is not complicated to beat. I don't like that he moves around a little bit hectic. At least it's not the chronivore, not as hectic as the chronivore. It does offer a few opportunities to attack, and I have killed him by breaking all his limbs, so you can do that. Yeah, overall I really like the behemoth. Now, about Chainblades. I was very worried reading the comments over the social media that the Chainblades got changed and everybody was hating it and they didn't like it. So I was like, hey, what the hell they did to Chainblades? Because Chainblades is my go-to weapon if I want to get breaks. And I'm happy to say it's not that bad. Okay, we did lose a good combo. We did have a good combo that, enhances our crits. And it had a long range, which is the one where he swirled around with both Chainblades. And he hit everything on the behemoth, particularly if the behemoth was small enough, he could hit all 4 limbs with those swings. And that was cool, and we lost that. We didn't get to do that anymore. We just had 2 simple combos with the fast strikes or the heavy strikes. And then we have the one where he rotates his blades. But the blades have wound. Now, some people go like, oh my god, wound, we never use zoom, why don't we use zoom? But I think about it, well, we now have another weapon that does wound, because we only add the war pike. I mean, we could change in perks the other weapons to do wound damage, but not inherit. So I think this is a good change, because we got to remind ourselves. Strikers have stagger and break. Hammers have stagger and break. Chain axes have stagger and break. Even swords have a little bit of stagger on them. We don't have any other weapon other than the Warpack that does wound damage. And now we have it in Chainblade. So I'm not against it, okay? I'm not against it. Yes, it takes a little bit used to, but I'm not against it. One of the good things that Chainblades now have is that the meter that you build up to four dots now stacks up damage. Before, you can either land it on your face or maybe rotate and land it. I mean, if you rotated and landed with both chain blades, it did a little bit more damage. But the damage, at least it didn't seem to stack, or didn't stack as much as this one. If you have 4 dots and you rotate and you strike, you can do a 7,000 damage to the behemoth. And I thought that was really, really cool. So we lost the crit, but we gained this boost in our final attack per se. So I'm okay with it. I know people are dissing on Chainblades, that they think that the rework was terrible. They hope they don't rework other weapons like this. But for me, I am okay with this. And you know that if I have anything bad to say about Dauntless, I do say bad things about Dauntless if I have to. In this particular case, it didn't affect me that much. Also, I had a break build with Chainblades, and I went and I tried it, as you see in the footage, against the Sahvyt, and it still works. And it works pretty well. I mean, the combo with just the fast strikes, the not heavy strikes, it seems to increase damage more than it did before. It seems to do more damage once you stack up what after the 4th and final hit instead of rotating the blades. You can do damage. I mean, it creates a little bit of problem with the perks that it has. You might just want to use the one that where rotating the blades actually increases damage, unless you're going for the wound build. So yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm really okay with this change. It wasn't complicated to get used to it. I still can use the jump back and attack, which is one of the things that I thought they was going to change on, man. Because everybody uses Chainblades, because when you do that jump, you have that little bit of iframe, a little bit of that animation cancel, because they're so fast you can do that and just clear out of the way of the behemoths. And in this case, they didn't remove it. They left it as it is. I was afraid they were going to remove it, but they didn't. So as long as I have that and I can do good damage with them, which I still do, I'm okay with it. So yeah, Sahvyt and Chainblades are okay. I am okay with it. They're not super fantastic behemoth or super fantastic change for the Chainblades, but they are okay, and I did enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and as always, have a great game, guys.